Split system air conditioners consist of two units, an outdoor condensing unit and an indoor air handler. The outdoor condensing unit houses components such as the compressor, condenser coil, and fan. The indoor air handler contains the evaporator coil, blower fan, and associated controls. A control wire, typically carrying 120 volts, connects these two units electrically, providing power to the indoor air handler. The outdoor unit is usually connected to a dedicated disconnect switch positioned outside, close to the unit itself. According to the National Electrical Code, specifically Article 440.15, all air conditioning equipment must have a disconnecting means. This regulation mandates that both the indoor and outdoor units can be electrically isolated from their power source. While a lockable disconnect switch is acceptable for the outdoor unit, it does not fulfill the NEC requirement for an indoor disconnect. There are primarily two reasons why the NEC mandates an indoor disconnect. Firstly, maintenance and troubleshooting. An indoor disconnect enables technicians to safely isolate the indoor air handler for maintenance or troubleshooting without needing access to the outdoor unit. This significantly simplifies diagnostics and repairs. Secondly, emergency shutoff. In emergency scenarios, such as a fire or gas leak, an indoor disconnect offers a readily accessible method to quickly cut power to the air conditioning system. Therefore, based on the NEC, an indoor disconnect is required in addition to the lockable disconnect located outside. The presence of an indoor disconnect ensures both safety and operational convenience. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, sets the standard for electrical safety in buildings and structures. Article 440 specifically addresses air conditioning and refrigeration equipment, detailing the requirements for disconnecting means, overcurrent protection, and other electrical considerations. Section 440.13, mentioned earlier, is a key section outlining the necessity of a disconnecting means for air conditioning equipment. A disconnecting means is essentially a switch or circuit breaker that allows for the complete isolation of the electrical circuit feeding the equipment. This is crucial for safety during maintenance, repairs, or in emergency situations. The NEC mandates that the disconnecting means be readily accessible and located within sight of the equipment it serves. The phrase "within sight" generally means that the disconnect switch is visible from the equipment and not more than 50 feet away. This proximity ensures that anyone working on the equipment can easily and quickly disconnect the power supply, preventing accidental electrical shock or other hazards. In the case of split-system air conditioners, the outdoor condensing unit typically has a disconnect switch located near it, as mentioned previously. This disconnect is often a fused or non-fused disconnect switch, depending on the specific installation requirements and local codes. The purpose of this outdoor disconnect is to allow technicians to safely service the outdoor unit without having to go inside the building to turn off the power. However, the NEC also requires a disconnecting means for the indoor air handler unit. This is often a point of confusion, as some people assume that the outdoor disconnect is sufficient. The NEC rationale for requiring an indoor disconnect is multifaceted. Firstly, it provides a local means of disconnecting power to the indoor unit for maintenance and repairs. This is especially important if the outdoor unit is not easily accessible, or if weather conditions make it unsafe to work on the outdoor unit. Secondly, the indoor disconnect serves as an emergency shut-off switch. In the event of a fire, gas leak, or other emergency, occupants can quickly and easily disconnect power to the air conditioning system from inside the building. This can help to prevent further damage or injury. The type of disconnect switch required for the indoor unit depends on the specific installation and local codes. In some cases, a simple toggle switch is sufficient, while in other cases a fused disconnect switch may be required. It is important to consult with a qualified electrician or local building inspector to determine the appropriate type of disconnect for the indoor unit. In addition to the general requirements for disconnecting means, the NEC also addresses the issue of lockable disconnects. A lockable disconnect is a switch that can be locked in the open position, preventing the circuit from being energized. This is particularly important during maintenance and repair work, as it ensures that the equipment cannot be accidentally turned on while someone is working on it. The NEC allows the use of a lockable disconnect as the disconnecting means for the outdoor unit of a split-system air conditioner. However, it is important to note that a lockable disconnect does not eliminate the need for an indoor disconnect. Even if the outdoor unit has a lockable disconnect, an indoor disconnect is still required for the reasons outlined previously. When installing a split-system air conditioner, it is crucial to follow all applicable electrical codes and regulations. This includes ensuring that both the indoor and outdoor units have the required disconnecting means, and that the disconnects are properly installed and readily accessible. Failure to comply with these requirements can result in fines, delays in project completion, and potentially dangerous electrical hazards. In summary, split-system air conditioners require both an outdoor and an indoor disconnect switch. The outdoor disconnect allows for safe servicing of the outdoor unit, while the indoor disconnect provides a local means of disconnecting power for maintenance, repairs, and emergency shut-off. A lockable disconnect is acceptable for the outdoor unit, but it does not eliminate the need for an indoor disconnect. It is essential to consult with a qualified electrician or local building inspector to ensure that the installation complies with all applicable electrical codes and regulations. Now let us address the specifications and requirements around the control wire, which is used to connect the outdoor unit with the indoor unit. The control wire, which carries 120 volts, serves as the communication pathway between the outdoor condensing unit and the indoor air handler. Its primary function is to transmit control signals and power to the indoor unit, enabling it to operate in coordination with the outdoor unit. This wire is a critical component of the split-system AC, ensuring proper functioning and temperature regulation. The selection and installation of the control wire must adhere to specific standards and safety precautions to prevent electrical hazards and ensure reliable operation. Firstly, the wire gauge should be appropriate for the voltage and current it carries. Typically, for 120-volt circuits, a minimum of 14 American wire gauge or AUG copper wire is required, but it is best practice to consult the NEC and local codes to determine the exact gauge needed for the specific application. Secondly, the wire insulation must be rated for the environmental conditions in which it will be installed. This includes temperature, moisture, and exposure to sunlight or chemicals. Thermoplastic high heat resistant nylon coated, or THHN, or thermoplastic high heat resistant water resistant, or THWN, insulation are common choices for control wires in AC systems due to the durability and resistance to environmental factors. Thirdly, the control wire should be installed in a conduit or raceway to protect it from physical damage and moisture. This is especially important in outdoor environments where the wire may be exposed to harsh weather conditions. Rigid metal conduit, or RMC, electrical metallic tubing, or EMT, or flexible metal conduit, or FMC, are common options for protecting control wires in AC installations. Fourthly, proper grounding is essential for electrical safety. The control wire should be grounded at both the outdoor and indoor units to provide a path for fault current to flow back to the source, tripping the circuit breaker and preventing an electrical shock. Green insulated grounding wires are typically used for this purpose. Fifthly, all electrical connections must be made securely and properly insulated to prevent loose connections, short circuits, and electrical fires. Wire connectors, such as wire nuts or terminal blocks, should be used to join wires together, and electrical tape or heat shrink tubing should be used to insulate exposed connections. Finally, the control wire should be routed away from sources of heat, moisture, and physical damage. Avoid running the wire near hot pipes, sharp edges, or areas where it could be easily damaged by tools or equipment. The control wire needs to be connected to the appropriate terminals in both the outdoor and indoor units. The terminals are typically labeled with letters or numbers to indicate their function. Consult the manufacturer's wiring diagrams and instructions to ensure that the wire is connected correctly. Incorrect wiring can cause the AC system to malfunction or even damage electrical components. When working with electrical wiring, always follow safety precautions to prevent electrical shock. Firstly, turn off the power to the circuit at the circuit breaker before beginning any work. Secondly, use insulated tools to avoid accidental contact with live wires. Thirdly, Wear rubber gloves and eye protection to further reduce the risk of electrical shock. Fourthly, never work on electrical wiring in wet or damp conditions. Fifthly, if you are not comfortable working with electrical wiring, hire a qualified electrician to do the work for you. The NEC provides detailed requirements for the installation of electrical wiring in air conditioning systems. It is important to consult the NEC and local codes to ensure that the control wire is installed in accordance with all applicable regulations. Article 300 of the NEC covers general wiring methods, including requirements for wire size, insulation, protection, and grounding. Article 310 covers conductors for general wiring, including ampacity ratings and dating factors. Article 440 covers air conditioning and refrigeration equipment, including requirements for disconnecting means, overcurrent protection, and control circuits. The control wire also plays a role in energy efficiency. Modern AC systems use sophisticated control algorithms to optimize performance and minimize energy consumption. The control wire transmits signals that allow the outdoor and indoor units to communicate with each other and adjust their operation based on factors such as temperature, humidity, and occupancy. By accurately controlling the AC system's operation, the control wire helps to reduce energy waste and lower utility bills. In addition to the NEC, other standards and regulations may apply to the installation of control wires in AC systems. For example, Underwriters Laboratories, or UL, standards provide requirements for the safety and performance of electrical products, including wires and cables. Local building codes may also have specific requirements for electrical installations. It is important to consult with local authorities to ensure that a control wire installation complies with all applicable standards and regulations. Failure to comply with these requirements can result in fines, delays in project completion, and potentially dangerous electrical hazards. By following these guidelines and recommendations, you can ensure that the control wire is installed safely and properly, providing reliable operation of the split system AC for many years to come.